This time the question came to me from someone who was asking, she had just found out that she was pregnant. She hadn't been planning on getting pregnant again. She'd had a previously traumatic hospital birth, and this time she wanted to have a home birth. And she didn't know where to start. So if that's you, if you don't know where to start, I'm about to share something with you that is going to change the game. So you're going to want to take notes for this, okay? As soon as you have confirmation of your pregnancy, you need to know what you want. So for myself, of course, I did this early. After my traumatic traumatic non-home birth with my son, when I got tricked out of my home birth, I decided I was never going to do that again. And I did everything I could to do my research to make sure that that wasn't going to happen again. And this is also how I tell my clients to do it, is that they plan ahead. So some of my clients come to me before they've even gotten pregnant. But if you're already pregnant, then you need to really pay attention. If you're not yet pregnant, but you're planning to conceive, this also works for you. You need to know exactly what it is that you want in your birth. That doesn't just mean I want a home birth. And that doesn't just mean you say I want a natural birth. And that doesn't just mean that you say, well, I want a midwife. That's surface level. We're not talking about that. You need to know with such clarity exactly the kind of experience that you want to have. Because home births come in all sizes and shapes, and different people want different things. So the first thing you want to do, if you don't know what you want, is to go out there and check out the different home birth stories and the different videos and start basically downloading what exactly it is that has you saying, yeah, I want that. So inside of my private Facebook community, I share a lot of home birth stories, and a lot of my followers do know what they want because they've heard me talk about birth, and they're like, hey, I want that. I'm going to add that to my birth plan. And as I said, we've got people who are trying to conceive inside this Facebook community, and we have people who have just had traumatic births and they want to be able to be prepared next time, and there's people who are currently pregnant. So it's basically a catch-all for anyone who wants to have an empowered birth. This Facebook community, again, is inside of my link tree in the bio, so you can go and check that out if that's interesting to you. But the thing is that you need to know what you want first, and then you go out and find the resources to get it. Here's what happens often is what I'm seeing inside the Facebook groups is that people are like, oh, well, yeah, I know a midwife. Go and check out this midwife. Or, oh, yeah, this doctor does natural birth. Go check this person out. Or even worse, first-time moms especially, I've seen this happen, is they say, hey, I don't really know where to find a care provider, and can you recommend people? And they say, oh, Dr. So-and-so is a really great person. You should go see them. Problem is, Dr. So-and-so does not offer the kind of birth experience that you want to have. So you want a natural birth, but all you said was, what doctor is good out here? Dr. So-and-so is so great to this mom who recommended because Dr. So-and-so did a good job with their stitches for their C-section. So that's something you don't want. You also don't want to be like, hey, guys, do you know any doulas in the area that can support me? Because us doulas, we are awesome. I love our doula community, especially down here in the Lower Mainland. I've got so many awesome friends. When you go and find a doula and you're, again, just throwing spaghetti at the wall is basically what you're doing. If you're just saying, hey, anybody know a doula? Again, you need to know who you want to support you and how you want that support to go. So you need to know with exact clarity what you want in your birth. And I do have a system for that. And you can check that out in my bio as well. I do have a book on how to create your birth vision. The other thing you want to do is you want to know, okay, now that I know what I want my experience to be, who do I want to support me in that experience? That includes your care provider, and that includes your doula if you want one. Some people, they don't feel that they want a doula, and that's totally okay because some people don't want anybody in their birth space. Again, totally valid. My sister is one of those people that she didn't want a doula. It just was not her thing. She didn't even really want me coaching her when she was in labor. She's just like, just don't talk to me. Just let me do my thing. So you need to know, again, what is your birth experience going to be for you? And I, myself, I love doulas. I am a doula. And having a doula at my birth was actually a distraction. So now I know that I most likely want somebody there who is just going to keep the pool warm and who isn't really going to do much. Like they could basically be, my friends could just be sifting in and out to just clean things or keep my kids occupied, and I'd be happy and still pay them what they're worth. And then afterwards for postpartum, they'd be more helpful with the support. But the thing is, again, you need to know what kind of doula support you want. Maybe you want something more hands-on. Maybe you want somebody who's got some techniques for spinning babies, or who can do the hip compressions really well. Somebody who knows how to do the rebozo. The fact is, you want somebody to support you in a certain way, and you know how you want to be supported. So you got to figure all that stuff out. Okay, next tip. Next step after that. Now that you know exactly what you want, now you put your feelers out. And the best places to look, of course, are in some mom groups, but specifically mom groups where doulas and moms who've had alternative birthing experiences, not just mainstream, hang out. Because those ones are more likely to have the kinds of people who have had the birth experience that you want to have, or know people who have had the experience that you want to have, or are doulas who have supported those people who have the experiences that you want to have. So that's where you're going to want to go to find out about childbirth education. If you're looking for a course or somebody that has a really good channel to follow, I myself have a YouTube channel now, so you can get deeper dive videos with me if you want to learn more about birth planning, about birth visions, about what I'm talking about today. You can check out my YouTube channel. I am building it. And you can also go and check out the Facebook group where we have the archives. It is a closed, gated community, so you do need to actually apply to join. And we don't just let anybody in, so you do need to ask the questions or answer the questions that are asked, so we know that you're a good fit for the community. But the fact is that that's all in the bio. Again, link in the bio for the link tree. And you want to be in this community to find out where your people are at. You're basically looking for who has had the kind of experience I want, so I can then follow that path instead of reinventing the wheel and trying to figure it out all yourself. It's the same thing when you're trying to build a business. You don't just sit there and think, oh, I'm going to build a business. I'm just going to invent it and make it up as I go along. If you make up your birth as you go along, you are more likely to fall into traps. Because that's what happens, is that you get into the wrong Facebook groups, or you take the wrong childbirth class, or you get the wrong care provider, or you hire the wrong doula, and then your birth ends up going down the wrong path. That's what I'm talking about here. That's why we have the 5 pillars of empowerment, and why I talk so much about the right education and the right mindset and the right environment, right facilitators, and right support. That's basically the essence here. Okay, I'm giving you the essence of it. So once you've talked to the doulas, once you've found those people, the moms in the local communities, especially talking to the local doulas, they can then put out their feelers, because we all have networks. And then we know which midwives are best likely to fit what you need. So I even tell my clients this. It's like, okay, we have doulas in the area, especially down here in the Lower Mainland. So if you are in the Lower Mainland, you can reach out to me and I'll be able to connect you even more, because we have so many resources down here and they're just hidden. They're just hidden. So we can find them. And you can find out who is a actual supportive doctor or who's just pretending to be. Because doulas see and hear a lot. We hear the stories, and moms, we talk a lot. So once you know how to ask the right questions, you're going to be able to find that. I'm not done. Now that you have an idea of where to look for the information, now you go and look for it. You go get it. You go get that information. So for hiring your care provider, which is what I'm going to be talking about specifically, you want to go and apply to all those practices. I applied to 3 different midwife practices and interviewed every single one of them. And then I made a choice. So you don't make a decision by just going with the first midwife practice that takes you in the intake form. No, you apply to all of them and you treat it like an interview process. And you have your red flags and you have your deal breakers and you have your qualities that absolutely must be there. I'm going to go play with my kids now. Have a good day and I will see you soon.